Hello, everybody, and welcome back to I'm a Nice Guy You Witch. Once again, I am joined with Stephanie Ild, and we will be going over a couple of posts that I found on the internet this week. One of them actually strikes home at something that I actually care about a lot. So we're gonna get right into it, and here is the first post.
Oh, really? I'm sorry you feel that way. That was not my intention.
Because I think you know I like you. So, do you like me back?
I'm sorry, but I only seen us as friends. Sorry.
Oh, for heck's sakes! I should have graped you when I had the chance.
What the heck?
You was dressed like a slut anyway, so don't be surprised that I was thinking about it.
Wow, what do you think of that? Like, if you were sent this, how would you feel?
I f At first I thought it was like satire, like, like, "Oh, like, haha," but then I don't think it is, just by, like, the follow-up and what have you. When you, like, are literally well, I mean, I don't know if you do this, but when I'm, like, talking to my friends, like, I'll be like, "Oh, haha, I could strangle my roommate because they left the coffee creamer out," and, like, obviously in reality, I'm not gonna go strangle my roommate, but it's like, like, I'm just annoyed. Like, I thought it was like that at first. Does that make sense? And then I
Yeah,
read
that makes
further and I
sense.
was like, "Oh, nope."
But the way I'm taking this text is they don't really know one another outside of like general acquaintances, and he's trying to get to know her, and then he says that.
Yeah, and obviously she was being ni or they were being nice. It's hard. It's so hard because you're like, you wanna be nice to everybody, but then you don't wanna accidentally come across as, like, available or flirty or, you
Yeah,
know?
so many men just take a woman being nice as, oh, she's interested in me. I should be able to get with her because she's interested in me. Whereas the woman is just being a nice human being with no intent of being with everyone that they talk with.
Yeah, I actually just had this happen to me when I was, like, walking the dog. I walk my dog in a neighborhood, and then obviously, like I say hi to my neighbors every like now and then, and literally, it apparently opened up to this guy asking me out, and I was like, "Oh no, the thing," and it was just like really, really, really awkward. And now every time I see him, it's like really awkward. But I was just being nice, like, oh, in passing, like, "Oh hey, oh yeah, how's the weather? Okay, yeah, but cool, that's my dog. Oh cool, you have a dog. Awesome, goodbye."
The ones that drive past you and use your dog as the opening to see if they can get your number.
No, no, that's like old people. They're like drive by me really slowly and they'll roll down the window and they'll be like, "Is that an Alaska Malamute?" I'm just walking in the neighborhood and this dude walks the same kind of time that I walk my dog. He's a really active person. Like I see him all the time, so I don't think he's like walking to see if I'm walking. But yeah, I was just being kind, and then I think I talked to him 4 times and he asked me out. So yeah, awkward.
Yeah. And if he would have said what this guy said to her, what would you think? You
I
would take another path, wouldn't you?
I would probably figure out where he lives and call the cops, to be honest with you. But that's just me. But no, but then afterwards I'd probably like take a different path because the world is so scary and it doesn't need to be. Like half of the scary world things are honestly preventable if people just used common sense.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think that this text would be enough basis to be able to do anything with the police, unfortunately. At least in
I
America.
I also think there's like a so okay, so the really last paragraph, right? It was like how you're dressed. And it's so crazy what people perceive as like naughty. I don't know what words I can say on your channel, but as opposed to like I'm wearing like a full like I have it's like a maxi dress on the side, and it's like full length, everything is covered, there is nothing, but because it's like fitting, someone might perceive that as like, oh, you're being like it's so like her, like it's like I would wear this to would wear this to a wedding with like a nice cardigan, but someone might perceive because it's a little tight or like because I'm bigger chested that like I'm dressed as a hoe. So it's crazy to me to see like how many like people can perceive different things. Does that make sense?
I've heard of some in some places where a certain kind of truck reminds men of women because of their hips.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
That
like
was going in the wrong direction. I thought you were talking like the big trucks with the lift kit.
no, the ones like the ones with like the four tires in the back and whatnot.
A dump
So it
truck.
has like a different kind of body to accommodate the four tires
Okay.
in the truck bed. Yeah,
Okay.
apparently that reminds some men of women, and
Oh,
that's
I know. Sorry. I just like I know what the truck looks like now.
yeah. So
So
yeah,
what
that's
reminds you of a woman? How do you like look at something and be like, ah, like an inanimate object and be like, ah, yes, that reminds me of a woman's body.
I mean that's a whole nother subject. How men like to compare women to objects all the time. It's not appealing at all, in my opinion.
But yeah, 10 out of 10, don't like this guy.
All right. Is there anything else on this one that you would like to go over, or should we go on to the next one?
Block and move on to the next one.
All right, block and go on to the next one. All right, we are going to take a puppy break, and we will be right back.
We'll be right
We
back.
are going to take take a puppy break, and we will be right back.
You come on, you can go in. Go on, quick, go on, you can get in. Come on. I know you're not stupid. Get in the pool.
And we are back. And this text message actually is the one that I was talking about that hits really close to home. So I am a professional photographer, and I always advocate safety. That's one of my most paramount things, and especially because of what I photo most of the time. So like safety first, not only for the model but also for the photographer. Let's get into it.
I want to talk about our session. I have a new camera, portrait lens, equipment, backdrop, lighting, and more. When are you usually able to come out? I just noticed you're actually close. I'm in New Hampshire.
Yes, I travel a lot to Mass to see my boyfriend. He does escort me to my shoots, especially with new photographers.
I mean, if he can drop you off and then go cruise around and eat dinner somewhere while we're working, I'm up for it. Oh, okay. So you can just come by yourself then, if you're driving from NH.
I have been modeling for a decade. I do not meet new photographers alone or be left alone with them. It is for my safety and is not negotiable. Sorry.
What? Bye. You're blocked.
Okay. Good luck.
Yeah, so this also hits home for me because I model for a living. And yeah, safety first. It's one of even in my portfolio, I have it right in my like little bio section that I only travel with like I only do anything with an escort because you never know. And I always make the joke of like, oh yeah, like I bring an escort so that like I can't kidnap you. And you know, I want to say 9 out of 10 photographers are like, oh yeah, like I'm not gonna kidnap you either, and I'm totally welcome an escort. Some photographers have rules with escorts, which I totally understand. So basically, an escort in the modeling industry is just someone that is with you, and not like an escort in a different industry. And some photographers just have rules like, yeah, they can be in the same room and blah blah blah, but just shut the F up, stay in the corner, and if we need your help, we'll ask. Which I completely understand because you don't want anyone like trying to take over or the shoot or what have you. But yeah, safety is the utmost important things, especially if you are doing content that is provocative and vulnerable. Like, you would obviously want to have someone there. So I've had a couple photographers reach out to me who won't allow escorts, and first of all, I always ask them why, because I think that's a good question to ask. I think it's not like an intrusive, it's just, oh, just why, may I ask why you don't allow anyone? And pretty much everyone has just said, oh, we've had bad experiences with models bringing their significant other, and all of a sudden their significant other like getting jealous or being in the way, or saying like, oh no, they can't do that, even though on their model profile it says that, you know, like they have. And I usually come back with that with like, oh well, my person that I always bring just literally shuts up and stays in the corner unless you need like help with holding a light or something. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. You know what? Yeah, bring that person and we'll have a shoot together. But there has been a couple that were like, no. And I just don't work with them because it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
I've heard so many stories of inexperienced women that are just getting into the industry and they get preyed upon by predators like this that think they can get away with doing other things than just photography. And that honestly puts a bad image on this industry.
Yeah, it honestly really does. And everyone starts somewhere. You know, like everyone, if you're in the modeling, if you're a model, you have to start somewhere. If you are a photographer, you have to start somewhere. And I think we're all in the industry, we're all aware of that. That's why time for print is a thing when you're starting out. And you know, I've been in a couple situations where a photographer reached out to me. They were just getting started. They let me bring an escort. Everything was great. And then they whip out an iPhone. And I'm like, but you can't, you know, like I said, everyone starts out somewhere. Now, this went viral on Facebook. And I know this because I actually shared this person because I do know a lot of traveling models. And I don't think they're a photographer. I think, and that's, I don't normally like saying that because you don't, it's like you don't want to judge a book by its cover, especially if people are just learning. You don't really want to super judge their photography, but in this case, you kind of do because it's not really. I think personally, this guy just wants a free ride to see vulnerable women, like what you said, that people are just getting into the industry, they see a quick check and you know they make $100, they think that is the most amazing thing, and then this guy has so many vulnerable things from you and could not be a dangerous person, but could be a dangerous person, you know.
Well, let's go off of that thought process. Why don't you take a look at the next slide I gave you, and that is actually his work.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's not, it's very erotic. And there are some photographers who are very, very professional and make a lot of their money photoing that type of content for either individual clients or work on platforms. And that's totally understandable. But this is like using Instagram filters and weird emojis. Number one rule, he's not tagging any of the models, which is like a heavy no-no in the industry, whether you pay them or not. And it's very, actually, fun fact, I crept on this guy about a half an hour ago, and he's taken a lot of these photos down. And now he's trying to be a musician. And I'm not trying to judge someone, but the music in the music video is also not very good. So I think this was just a guy looking for a pick collector.
In my opinion, I think he was trying to do more than just photo his models.
Yeah, and obviously you can't, like, I don't want to sit here and like assume, because I wouldn't want someone to like assume something about me. And maybe this guy was just starting out and he assumed that this is how it is. I'm not saying you have to give everyone like the benefit of the doubt, but I try at least to be like, well, he had good intentions, but I don't think, judging by all the checks that have come out now, I really honestly you should do a follow-up video this week because there's like more to this that just came out like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was maybe not intentionally like doing the R word, because I don't know if we can put that on YouTube, but he definitely seems like a propositioner, which unfortunately happens in the industry a lot, where it's like, oh, I'll photo you and I'll pay you, but also I can pay you a little bit more if you like want to do this with me, and unfortunately people just getting into the industry, or people who like are really naive or really really in a tough spot, like would take that. Ugh.
I can understand that, but as wanting to do it as a profession, you should not be propositioning other models.
1,000%, 1,000%, you should not. No, 1,000%. If you are doing this in a professional capacity, a professional capacity in general, but if this is like your career, and you want to make a name for yourself, you definitely always let the model have an escort, and always be respectful to the model and not proposition them, because in this industry, word gets around really fast. Cancel culture is really real, which honestly in this industry 9 times out of 10 is a really good thing. We definitely combine together and make sure that these predators are not in our world, in our industry at least.
All right. Is there anything else on this subject you would like to go over, or should we go on to the next one?
I think we should go on to, just because this hits so close to me and then to you as a photographer, I feel like we could rant about this for an hour. So I think we should
Yeah.
you got our
That's
point.
what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying my best to like minimize the amount of contents we cover on this one.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's good to see two different perspectives, like literally model and photographer, on how we kind of like view it all. So, but yeah, let's move on to the next one.
All right. We're going to take a quick break for puppy break, and we will be right back.
Right, Brack.
We're going to be right back.
You like your new water bowl? Good boy. Good boy, Bubba's. Oh, you gave me a paw? Oh, thank you. Good boy. Good job.